with your opinion, why is it important to invest in an uncertain economy?
Well, it's a very good question. I get asked that a lot, and maybe I wait till things get better before you invest. And so Warren Buffett has a great saying, and he says, "Be fearful when other people are greedy, but be greedy when other people are fearful." So if we think about it in the investing world, everybody knows that ideally you like to buy low when prices are low, and ideally sell when prices are high. But if we think about it, the only time you ever get a chance to buy when prices are low, there has to be a lot of fear out there.
Right.
And so when things are going well, the prices are high. And when you have the most fear that's out there, that's the only time you get a chance to really buy in most stocks at a discount. So the key is to have a disciplined plan when you put away money on a regular basis. So let's make the math simple. Let's say you're putting away $1,000 a month. And let's say the share price is $100 a share. Well, pretty simple math.
Yeah.
Buy 10 shares that month. But let's say something happens where there's a lot of fear out there and the price drops in half. Now you consistently put away that $1,000 a month, and if the share price drops to $50 versus $100, now you bought 20 shares. Eventually, assuming the market comes back up again, now you have a lot more shares with appreciation. So this is a basic principle called dollar cost averaging. But when you're putting away money, part of the key is to be disciplined and to make sure you consistently put away money in both good times and bad times. But it becomes even more important if there's ever a time to even stick away more is during the bad times, because that's the time when you potentially can get a better deal and buy shares at a discount. So that's a key component, but everybody wants to do the opposite. And that is when things are going really well, it's like, oh, everything is good. But as soon as things start getting bad, there's a tendency to want to abandon your plan. It's crucially important that you do not abandon your plan when times start getting tough, because that's the only time you get a chance to buy things at a discount.
Yeah, that's actually great advice though too, because as human beings and everything, if something's going bad, you kind of want to maybe hold on to your money, or you're just, I don't want to use the word scared, but maybe fearful.
Yeah, and so as Warren Buffett says, it's hard to emotionally be a good investor, because emotionally we want to do just the opposite. We look at our statement and go, oh my gosh, it's dropped 10%, I better sell everything before I lose everything. Instead, it's like, okay, if it drops 10% on the share price, I encourage people to think, wow, I get a chance to buy it at a 10% discount.
Exactly.
And so it's your choice, but it's easy to get derailed by having even if you have a solid plan, by spending too much time short term looking at what the markets are doing, and it can derail you. But sticking to your plan, making sure you understand your risk levels, of course, but making sure you stick to your plan during good and bad times.
And just being consistent, like you said, you may get that discount if you're putting that $1,000. Yeah, you may only get 10 shares, but if it drops down, then you may get 20 shares. So
my experience has been, in the 30 years I've been doing this, and all the academic books, those people that are trying to get in and out and jump over the place, they do much worse than those people that just have a consistent plan. Doesn't mean you never change anything, because you do, but trying to jump in and out and stop investing, start investing, and constantly changing the investment, most people do far worse than those people that are just consistent and not trying to jump over the place and jumping in and out of the markets.
I believe that too. I think with history too, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the markets have, depending if you look 3 year, 5 year, 10 years, overall have had a good rate of return. It's just, you just got to live out the bad times with the good times, and usually it'll average out. So.
Yes, and so there's really only two asset classes that long term have beaten inflation, and that would be real estate and stocks. And both depending on which time period you use, somewhere around a 10% average long term, annualized. And so those are really the only two asset classes that are currently available where consistently over a long period of time they've beaten inflation. And so, you know, you can stick all your money in a savings account right now, and you know, even a money market, you might be able to get somewhere around 5%, but inflation being 4 something right
Yeah.
now, you know, it's hard to get ahead. And of course,
Mhm.
about a year ago, less than a year ago, it was 9%. And so the key is you have to be able to keep up with inflation. And you can't do that just by investing in, you know, savings accounts and a money market account.